Afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you for the next couple hours. I got a few things I want to discuss. Of course, I haven't been on here in a few days, and I had to shut everything down, come back, and everything is just, oh my goodness. There's some things that I still need to do. I'm just so busy right now. So there are some things that I still need to do. But good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miss Pittsburgh, Robert Willis. Got a few people in here. Well, we got like about 10 people in here so far. But good afternoon, everyone. Yesterday was a difficult day. Nothing like, I didn't lose anybody. Nobody passed away or anything like that. So I don't want to make it sound like that. But yesterday was a difficult day. Just had so much stuff to do and didn't get it all done. I almost didn't make it in here today, but I said I really need to. But how is everybody doing? How is everything going with everyone? Y'all know I got to talk about that school board meeting. I went live at the school board meeting. I don't even know what the quality of that was, but I went live. I was so annoyed by that school board meeting, and I want to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it in a minute, and I have an idea for how to fix CPS. I think I know exactly what to do to fix CPS, or at least fix parts of it. Fix enough of it that people will be satisfied. I think I know what to do. I do. But I'll get into it in a minute. Let me say hello to everyone. I already said hello, Miss Pittsburgh, but I didn't put her thing up there. Robert Willis, Karen, good afternoon. Sierra says, what's up from Boston? Tina in the house. All right. Myosha says, I don't look ashy today. All right. You can't beat that excellent skin color. You can't beat not looking ashy. Brini, good afternoon. She's over in Kentucky. TC says, hello, everyone. Lewis says he's checking in from Mount Rushmore. You never know if he's really serious. Like if he's actually at Mount Rushmore with his phone, watching the live stream, or, at a chicken joint. You never know with Lewis. Anthony says, finally decided to make an appearance. I've been busy, man. If you just knew how busy I am. Sometimes not being employed, you are more busy with other stuff than you would be. If I had a job, most of this stuff I wouldn't even have to do. It. Somebody else would do it. People wouldn't ask me to do stuff. I wouldn't see all of these other things that I need to handle. But when you got the free time to do it, and then you take on projects and you're like, oh my goodness, I took on a whole lot. But if I just was, still had my 9 to 5, I wouldn't have all of these other projects going. Crystal says, good afternoon. Checking in from Forest Park. All right. Karen says, great. Thanks for doing that for us. Did it look okay? Did it sound okay? We were like way up in the back because the place was packed. Miss Pittsburgh said, glad to see you. Shahara, she says, hey, everybody. Good afternoon, y'all. Present, Emanuel, in the office today out in Mason. All right. Let me see. Scott says hello to everyone in Winton Hills. Nat says hello. Brenda, hi from Fairfield. Brenda in Fairfield. Nat says he's in Madisonville. Diane says good afternoon. Tria, Columbia Township. That's where they be having all of the little landslides and stuff, right? Hopefully your house don't slide off nothing. Really, hopefully that don't happen. Tessie checking in from Fairfield, working hard. Oh my goodness. Tina wants me to tell you, I got the answer. I'm gonna bring it to you in a little bit. Vincent says, "What's up?" Nat want to know who listens to the gospel show today. Andrea says, "What's going on from downtown?" Angela says, "Salutations." Crystal says the sound was great. Oh, good. I was shocked. I'm shocked about that. Not I was shocked. I am shocked to hear that. Brent says, good afternoon, Emanuel. And he's checking in from Dallas. Butler Brown checking in from Cartersville, Georgia. Karen says, yes, it was great. Working and listening at the same time. Thanks. All right, cool. Dwayne, good afternoon from Mount Airy. Tria says, no, sir. She's near Coca-Cola. Okay. I'm thinking about Columbia Parkway. Okay. Gang members jacking for answers on the biology homework. Okay. Yeah, Angela, I was a little off on that one. It happens from time to time. All right. So we all watched. Not we all. Some of you got an opportunity to watch the board meeting. My battery died. I didn't carry a extra little battery thing, and we was there for like over 3 hours. And then we actually even just went on ahead and left out early, so we didn't leave until like 9:45. They were still going. I wanted to stay, but I also wanted to leave. So leaving one. But let me say this about the superintendent, Dr. Wright. I mean, as I listen to her and the things that she's saying and the things that it seems like she's doing from the outside looking in, I'm impressed. Now, they didn't deal with whatever issue was going on and whoever's saying that she's creating a hostile environment. They didn't really deal with that. Which is cool with me. Apparently, whatever it is, they'll work it out. So you can't beat that. But I tell you what bothered me. A couple things bothered me. Wanted Hills parents bothered me. And I got a chance to listen to a few minutes of the Lincoln Ware show yesterday. And I heard some people singing the praises of Walnut Hills. Talking about Walnut Hills and the environment in Walnut Hills and all that kind of stuff and how it's so much better than any other school, than any of the other high schools. Although the people that I heard saying it never went to any of the other high schools to know, which is always, bothersome to me. It's always bothersome to me when people are like, hey, this school is better than that school. The environment in this school is better than the environment in that school. You ever been to that school? Well, no. Then how you know? And y'all, look, disclaimer, I'm anti-Walnut Hills. I passed the Walnut Hills test. I had opportunity to go to Walnut Hills. I said, F Walnut Hills, I'm going to Aiken. I'm not for all this elitism, which is kind of what they're selling. I know some of y'all be like, no, it's they're just trying to excellence and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. That's what they say. But I listened to some of those parents. I listened to them talk about how their children were more special than other children. How their children deserve more than other children. Now, some of them said, our kids are special, but other kids are special too. But some of them just said, but our kids are special. And that says our kids, our kids are smart, so they shouldn't have to deal with the things that all the dumb kids have to deal with. I was bothered by that. And to me, that's the attitude. When you decide we're going to segregate people in this way, this is the attitude that you get. And it bothers me. But I got an answer for it. I have the solution. I thought about it. I thought about it. I said, look, E, because sometimes that's what I call myself. I said, look, E, if they gonna do this, and they're gonna say, in order to get into this school, you have to, on this particular test, what the Iowa assessment, you have to have this level of grade and be in this percentile and all that kind of stuff. What it's like 140 and be in the 65th percentile. Then why don't we just tier the schools? Tier them all. Make it easy for everybody, right? So you get a 140. Well, there's 16 high schools, right? 16 high school CPS. So you get a 140, 65th percentile. You go to Walnut Hills. Everybody happy, right? You get what, a 120, you're in the 50th, the 60th percentile. I don't know the numbers. The rest of them just kind of making up. Then maybe you go to Dater. You know what I'm saying? So then you here and here. Then maybe you go to, I don't know, Aiken. Then here to here. Then maybe you go to Schroeder, here to here. And you figure, eventually you just break it all up. You this much, go to this school, you in this percentile, you go to that school, you in this percentile, you go to that school, you in this percentile, you go to that school, and you keep going down and down and down until finally, in my mind, the dummies go to Hughes. The dummies end up at Hughes. Like, what I'm saying? You got like a 10. You were in, whatever the lowest percentile. You end up at Hughes. And then that way, okay, Walnut Hill's going to be good. Dater going to be good. Aiken going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Whatever other school, they going to be good. And then you got to figure out, well, where's the, I imagine, once you get to the level where you they kind of failed the test. Do you send them to Woodward? And, then on down. So then you Woodward on down, less resources. We ain't really got to worry about them. They really stupid. They really stupid. So we don't really have to worry about them. We can concentrate all the resources on the kids that we actually care about. The ones that pass the test or get close. We care about them. We care about those kids so they get the resources. Then the kids at Hughes, you know what I'm saying? That become East Side High. You come up with a school song. You let them sing their school song. Fair East Side, by that side we stand and always praise our name. You know what I'm saying? You give them, and then they be like, hey, we proud of our school. We got a theme song. Because that's all they act, they the stupid kids. Right? Right? If we gonna separate the kids by perceived intelligence level based on what they did one day on a test, one day in April or whatever. I don't know when they take the test. Well, one day in April, they took a test and, hey, we're saying you're better than all the other kids. Then let's just go all the way with it. Let's go all the way with it. Let's segregate the kids out. Not by race, not by gender, but by intelligence level. Now, of course, if you're really talented, then you know what I'm saying, you get to go to school for creative and performing arts. You can sing and dance and shit. You get to go to creative and performing arts. So you ain't even really got to take the test. You can ask them, because they take it in the 6th grade. Ask them in the 6th grade, can you sing? Yeah, I can sing. Let me hear something. All right. You ain't got to take the test. You go into SCPA. Don't matter if they stupid. What's 2 + 2? I don't know, but I know what a treble clef is. It don't matter. You talented. You ain't got to be smart. Then maybe, I guess we got to bring back CAPE. Hold on, you can run fast? You ain't got to be able to read. CAPE. So we sort them out by intelligence, talent, and athletic ability. Everything else, whatever. Everything else, whatever. I mean, I think that, because that's what I'm hearing, or what I heard from, in particular, those Walnut Hills parents that were there, is that our kids are special. So they should have more resources. And we definitely don't want you lowering the standard. We definitely don't want you lowering the standard for people to get in. And then everybody seemed to be down with it. Like, you're right. Yeah, we don't need to lower the standard. If we lower the standard, they ain't going to be able to keep up. As if no one who passes that test doesn't fail out of Walnut Hills or drop out of Walnut Hills. I'm just, look, if we gonna do it, let's do it. And then we can know the kids to care about. We can know who should we be actually caring about and who we shouldn't care about. Hughes? I'm just using Hughes. It could be Aiken could be the bottom school. It's totally arbitrary. Go in alphabetical order maybe, but since y'all got Walnut Hills, then maybe go in reverse alphabetical order. W being the best, and you take it on down from there. Do they have any schools any CPS schools that begin with X, Y, or Z? I don't think so. So then Walnut Hills would be the top school, and then you go reverse alphabetical order, which I think would make Aiken the dummies. It don't matter which school it is. Don't be you hating on Hughes. I'm not hating on Hughes. It was just, just a name that I came up with. I think Withrow and Woodward would be even above Walnut Hills. So then you take the smart kids out of Walnut Hills and you put them in Woodward. Reverse alphabetical order. So then Woodward becomes the good school where we actually care about the kids. All the other schools, there's some lesser degree of caring. They get fewer resources. Until you get to Aiken. And then Aiken, we don't care. Y'all tucked away in the woods anyway. Y'all ain't gonna mess up nothing. Y'all can go in the woods and practice war games or something. Whatever y'all do, it don't matter. We don't care about y'all. Y'all not intelligent. So what's the graduation rate of Aiken? 2%? What? 2%? Yeah, 2%. They're beating our expectation. They need another custodian. They don't care. They ain't even smart enough to know that the school dirty. They fine. Just send them out back. They in the woods. Throw some meat. That really is the way that I feel when they talk about Walnut Hills. That really is. Like, we care about these kids. We care about their education. We care about whether or not they have transportation. We care about whether or not they feel safe at school. We care about whether or not the resource officers are getting along with the students. We care about how they get to and from extracurricular activities. We care about all of those things when it comes to them. When it comes to everybody else, they get what they get. Our kids are special. Our kids are special. How many times did we hear that on, what was that, Monday? Monday night. How many times did we hear that on Monday night? Now, okay, let me address the idea that we're going to lower the standard to get black people into Walnut Hills. I believe that tests, and I think research shows us how there's racial biases in a number of tests. I believe the idea that people in a lower social economic status might score lower on a test, not because they have lower intelligence, but because a lot of other factors. Because of a lot of other factors. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. I had maybe some drama was going on at the house. You know what I'm saying? There's all different kind of stuff. There's a number of reasons why I'm going to just use terms that I use. And if y'all get offended by it, oh well. There's a number of reasons why poor people might not do as well on tests as rich people. It's a number of reasons. Don't mean they're more intelligent, but there's a number of different factors. Look, if I'm rich and I want my kids to go to Walnut Hills, man, I can get them test preparation coaches and all of that kind of stuff. If I'm poor and, you know what I'm saying, I got an intelligent kid, they just like, you know, regular smart. Like, they haven't had somebody to come in and coach them on how to answer or how to, what questions to not answer or, you know, whatever the particular strategy that helps one get a better score when they don't know the answer. All of that stuff actually exists. I was looking at it. There was a ad online for coaching for the Iowa assessments. Poor, you can't necessarily afford to hire coaches for your child. All of that stuff is a factor. And then on top of that, the aforementioned racial biases. But we just want to act like that don't exist. We want to act like those things are just figments of our imagination. But they're not. So if because I kept hearing the parents, and just there was a group of Walnut Hills parents sitting like in the row right in front of me. And every time somebody would mention, you know, after they had all talked about how their kids were special, better than all the other kids, when somebody would mention diversity, they were so irritated with the idea of diversity. Because to them, it's diverse. It is diverse. We don't need it any more diverse. We don't need any more diversity. My kid knows a black kid. They didn't actually say that, but that's the kind of vibe that I got from them. Like, my kid knows a black kid. That's good enough. But I think diversity is important. And I heard something, I think it was Clifford, talking about the fact that I kind of laughed, but I was kind of irritated. But I heard Clifford talking about the fact that he went to Walnut Hills. This is what he said. He went to Walnut Hills. And Walnut Hills ain't like none of the other schools. He got friends who had two parents. They white. And they had two parents at home. You don't get that in the other schools. And I was like, what? This Ian really believe that at Aiken, I didn't have no white friends. And if I did, they definitely didn't have two parents at home. And I want to ask, do we have a Cincinnati public school that's like 100% black? Just curious, because I was listening yesterday, and the way that the people were talking about Walnut Hills, their love affair with Walnut Hills would have you believe Walnut Hills is the only school. Like, take the fact that they think that they're more intelligent, because that's the other thing Clifford said. And I thought I was smart, and then I went to Walnut Hills, and I met them kids, and they was really smart. Like, I couldn't believe how smart they was. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what is the conversation that we having? No, they was really, really smart. Believe it or not, it's really, really smart kids at all of the high schools. All of them. Maybe not Hughes, but no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I don't know nothing about Hughes. I ain't never been to Hughes. I don't even know that I know anybody who went to Hughes. I just hear people pick on Hughes all the time. So I joined in. It's a bad thing to do. But I heard this conversation going on. And I'm like, we really are quick to buy into stuff. And by we, I mean all of us. I buy into stuff too. Now look, if the kids need resources, give them resources. But distribute all of the resources. If anything, this is just me. If anything, Walnut Hills should get the least amount of resources. Because apparently they the smartest, so they need the least amount of help to graduate. They just brilliant. You just put them in school and, put them on dirt floors and give them those little things to count on where you move to one thing. What is it? I know what it's called, but I can't think of it. You move the thing to count. Give them some of those. That'd be good. They good. You give all the resources to the kids that need the most help. They got so much parental involvement. Heck, they should be self-sufficient. My own I thought it was an abacus, but I didn't want to say it because I felt like that was what it was. But I was like, but if I say abacus and it's not an abacus, then I just said something really dumb and like I should be going to Hughes. I'm just kidding about Hughes again. Remember, Aiken was, we settled on Aiken being the dumb school. But it's fun to say Hughes when I'm talking about dumb kids because, I bought into it. Anthony says, didn't you do a show at the Buzz one time operating the boards and taking calls? I did it a whole lot more than one time. I one whole week I did it. I did a show every day that week. I was the everything. And I've done it many, many times. But I don't encourage it. It's not something that everybody can do. I am the king of talk. That's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just some title I made up. No, it ain't. Some of y'all, yes, it is. No, it ain't. Stop it. Oh, if I would have went to Walnut Hills, I would have known abacus. Oh. Hey, man, I'm sure you are glad to see Fame is in the comment section. Okay. But yeah, I was bothered by it. That's all I'm really saying. Don't Will Smith me. Oh, keep Hughes' name out your motherfucking mouth. Don't Will Smith me. My bad. Hold on. I thought Dave Stinger was doing the call screening and running the boards. He was some of the time. But he didn't work there the whole time I worked there. It's not like this is something that I just did like in the last few years. I've had to do that a number of times. Vincent says, I went to SCPA from 7th to 9th grade until the principal started touching kids. Oh, my goodness. Then Hughes for one day, but found my alma mater Withrow. All right. You and Wyatt need to help Black Lion do a podcast. This would be a nice 3-piece. Hey, if he actually wanted to, that would be fine. Did he just finally admit he is Dave Stinger? What are you talking about? Somebody thought that Dave Stinger was operating the boards and answering the calls. And I said, not all the time. Sometimes it was me. That would be too sad. You said you went to school for creative and performing arts. So they probably sang it. Then you might understand it. But I understand. You don't want, it's logic. It's two people. Sometimes he was there running the boards. Other times I was doing the whole thing. That's not an admission that we're the same person. I'll try to sing it. I'll try to think of a catchy little tune and I'll sing it. And then Shahara be like, oh, okay, now that makes sense in the form of a song. She went to school for creative and performing arts. So, you know. Let's see. Shahara, she responds, I went to SCPA from 4th grade to the 12th grade. Really from K3 because I went to, I can't even see that. Shield? Is that Shield? Those years. And they later combined the schools. Oh. So you was there basically from your whole school career you spent at the School for Creative and Performing Arts. So you like can't even really add unless it's in a song. You know, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. But I guess that, you know, they were probably big on Schoolhouse Rock there too. So you probably know like the preamble to the Constitution because it was in song form. We the people in order to, you know that you singing along, ain't you? I know. I'm just picking with you. I'm just picking with you. I didn't even sing. You went there and you didn't sing? What did you do? What did you do? You was an actress, a dancer. Now I'm just curious. Now why are you picking on SCPA when you went to Aiken? Because Aiken in my theoretical setup will be the dumb school. Aiken is not technically, or at least was not when I was in school, the dumb school. I'm pretty sure that was used. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that was used. No, in all honesty, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop picking with Hughes. But in all honesty, when I was looking at the some of the rates, like the attendance rates, Aiken was up there like at the top. Aiken was up there at the top. So yeah. That was big. I was kind of proud of Aiken. Oh, and they talked a lot about jobs for Cincinnati graduates, JCG. And I was in jobs for Cincinnati graduates. I was in jobs for Cincinnati graduates when I graduated in 88. And 87, 88, I was in jobs for Cincinnati graduates. I didn't know the program still existed. They got me my first job out of high school. Well, no, that's not true. I left high school. I went away to college. I left and when I went to school at Alabama State. Then when I came back, they got me my first job in Cincinnati because my first job was in the state of Alabama. Mike says, no sound on YouTube. Is that the case, everyone? Because Fame is checking us out on YouTube. I think he's getting sound over there on YouTube. Robert is on YouTube. He says, I have sound. So check your setup. You might have it muted. You might have it muted. But yeah, Job for Cincinnati Graduates got me my first, I remember I went back to the school when I came back. And, I just went to say hi to my teachers, see, who was still there and who wasn't. Sadly, a few of them had passed away. I was like, oh my goodness, no. But then I went and, met with the guy, I don't remember his name, who was over Job for Cincinnati Graduates. And he was like, well, where you working at? And I was like, oh, no, I just got back. I've only been back for like 2 weeks. And I just stopped through to say hi to, some of the teachers who was nice to me. And he was like, well, if you're looking for a job, we can help you. I mean, you are, a member of Job for Cincinnati Graduates or whatever the terminology is. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he said, here, and wrote something down and was like, you have an appointment for a interview. And I was like, really, that quick? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not dressed for no interview. He was like, it don't matter. Just take this to him. We have a relationship with him. And I went in and I talked to the guy and I interviewed just, me, my jeans and my t-shirt. And he hired me like right there on the spot. On the strength of that letter, that relationship. And, I'm sure, my verbal acuity. So yeah, Job for Cincinnati Graduates, it's a good program. Or at least it's been a good program. I really did totally enjoy the experience there. And like I said, they helped me out. The guy who said he wasn't getting any sound, Mike Jordan, says, got it now. Had to close out and come back in. Thanks. You're very welcome. When you spend 10 years in college, that's what happens to high school teachers. They pass away. I had only been a few years, actually, because I went to ITT Technical Institute initially. But then I was like, I think this is a scam. I learned a thing or two here, about electronic engineering. Pulling out resistors and whatnot and testing them and, fixing electronic gear. So I learned a little bit about that stuff, but I was like, I think this is a scam. I feel like I'm getting scammed. Like, I don't know that this education is going to be worth anything. So I left. I was like, I need to go to a school. And then I went down to Alabama State. And then I was only down there for 2 years. And then I came back. So, 3-4 years later? It's probably about 4-5 years later. Yeah. Earned enough money to buy that vet. No, I earned the money to buy that vet working at Shoney's. I earned that money to buy that vet as a busboy at Shoney's in the great state of Alabama. Pamela says, I got a confession to make. I didn't go to a public school. There's nothing wrong with that. But the conversation, of course, at the Cincinnati Public School Board meeting was about public schools. And I just, in all honesty, putting aside all of, I honestly think that might not be a horrible idea. My idea, you take the Iowa assessments, you take those scores, and then you break up the high school by percentages, by score. If you score this and above, you go to Walnut Hills, which they already do. And then you break the rest of it down. You might have a couple of schools with the same, if you score, from the 60 to the 65th percentile, then, I don't know, you go to Woodward or Withrow. So that you got a couple of schools where you kind of break it down. They can determine how they break it down. But, then, eventually you would have a school that scores in the very much lower percentile. But I think that would be beneficial. Number one, because when I was in school, one of the big things that hindered the educational process was disruptions. disruptions. A lot of the disruptions weren't just from, just bad kids. I think some kids were disruptive because everything was over their head. But if you remove those kids from that setting and you put them in a different setting, you got all the kids right there at about the same level if you believe that that particular test on that particular day, giving you those particular scores, dictate your level of intellect. If you believe that, then okay, you have people kind of at the same level. And they're all taking those same classes. You don't have a Walnut Hills student and a not so intelligent student. Again, I don't really believe all of this stuff. I don't believe that a test score dictates how intelligent you are. I really don't. But if you break it out, then you have a whole school full of people somewhere around the same level. You might have less distractions, less of a I'm gonna say less of a drag on the school. I don't really feel that way, but y'all understand the context in which I'm saying it, hopefully. You have less of a drag on the school, on the students, and there's a good chance that if you do it that way, at least you know where to put all of those extra, you know what I'm saying? You have a whole school where like almost everybody, and I don't thoroughly understand the whole IEP process. I don't thoroughly understand that. So I might be saying it in a way to diminish people that don't deserve to be, nobody deserves to be diminished, but you know what I'm saying. But then look, if you got a whole school full of people that need IEPs, then you triple the number of employees at that school. It's like, hey, these are the people that scored the lowest. Like we got 200 students here and they all scored really, really low. So we need 200 teachers at this school. Individual attention for every kid at this school because they can't succeed in a classroom of 30 kids. They need their own individual attention. That school, well, yeah, we can make those class sizes larger, Walnut Hills, because they're geniuses. I don't think that it is a horrible idea. I mean, even taking away, kind of my sarcasm about those kids being special and those kids being dumb. Take all of that out of it. Just the general idea that you sort out, you separate the students by test score or what they would consider achievement level. And that starts at like the 7th grade. So you could, basically get rid of almost all of the junior high / middle schools, if they haven't already done that. I don't really know. Because Walnut Hills is 7 to 12. Make all of them 7 to 12. And you allocate more resources to the children that need the most resources. How many people think that that's a decent idea? Honestly. Or how many people think, Emanuel, that's a horrible idea? And if it's a horrible idea, give me a call. Tell me why. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. I don't understand how it could be a horrible idea if we're already segregating kids based on their scholastic achievement level, or at least their test score. Tessie says, they already 7 to 12. What? All of the high schools are 7 to 12 now? Because that's what I said. All of the high schools. I know Walnut Hills is. So Tessie, are you saying all of the high schools are 7 to 12 already? Please clarify for me. I didn't go to Walnut Hills. I'm not special. If you would clarify for me what it is that you're saying, I would appreciate it. Pamela Kenny says, Kenneth Jones, I'm not bougie. My oldest sister went to Hughes. My parents were tired of CPS and their BS and sacrificed lots of things to send us to private and Catholic schools. And when we weren't Catholic, so they paid full tuition. All right. Tessie says, yes. Yes, what? I asked multiple questions. So when you just say yes, I'm not sure what you're saying yes to. If you can, I don't want to say that because it'll sound like I'm trying to be funny, but I'm really not. Like if you can type a complete sentence, just stating what it is that you're saying so that I know, because I'm not sure. In CPS, yes. So they've gotten rid of all of the middle schools, junior high schools, whatever. Every high school in CPS is 7 to 12. Interesting. I did not know that. Okay. I'm not. Tria says all CPS schools, high schools, I'm sure you mean. All CPS high schools are 7 to 12. Okay. What did they do with all of the middle schools? Or junior high schools, as they used to call them. Okay, thank you, Tessie. What did they do with all of the junior highs? I knew what you meant. TC says, well, what about the short bus window licking crew? Who was going to fight for them? I'm just asking, is my idea a good idea? Because then your short bus window licking crew, let's give them Aiken. So they all go to Aiken. So I think then the board, the superintendent, the administrators, everyone there can then look at Aiken and say, these are the kids that need the most help. Grade 5 is now considered middle school, I believe. What? Really? Interesting. Angela talking about, I'm sure the junior highs or middle schools is they're inside the high school. Okay. Interesting. Which then, of course, makes my idea that much more viable. We're determining how intelligent these kids are / and can be in the 6th grade based on a test that they took one day in the 6th grade. And then we sort them out in that way. Daryl, I believe, was the one who said he thinks that my idea is a great idea. Yeah, Daryl says, I think it's a great idea. Janice says, there was a time when there was K through 12, then 7 through 8, then 7 through 9, now 7 through 12. Yes, I was at the time when, the way I went to school, I went to, initially I went to, what's this over here? Rockdale. I went to Rockdale in kindergarten. Preschool and kindergarten was Rockdale. Then we moved. 1st grade, I went to Clifton Elementary, the little building. 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, I went to Clifton Elementary, the big building. 7th and 8th grade, I went to Schwab. I think my first year was Schwab Junior High. And then the second year, they changed it to Schwab Middle School. I don't know what the difference was, but they made a difference. But I went to Schwab 7th and 8th. And then, of course, 9th through 12th, I went to Aiken. And that answers your question, Richard. I graduated from Aiken High School. Look, here's what I believe. Because I heard somebody say, I think it might have been the same Clifford, said there are 3 components to a successful student: the teacher, the parent, and the student. I reject that. There are a whole lot of components to a successful student. I've heard stories of successful students who didn't have parents involved at all. No parental involvement. You can still be successful. And then there are so many other factors. One of the factors that they talked about at the board meeting was transportation. Like, it's going to be hard to be exceptionally successful if you can't get to school and get there on time. So that's a factor. There are a number of different factors. And I mean, as I'm listening to this stuff, and they're talking about bringing in graduation specialists and attendance specialists and all of that kind of stuff. They're talking about having social workers in the school to deal with it. And I listen to people talk about education. And I'm like, kind of the same. I'm like, man, whatever. Teachers get in there and teach. Kids get in there and learn. Parents get involved. I don't know that it's that simple, though. I don't know that it's that simple. And you think about it. You take it. This is all hypothetical and theoretical. But you take 20 students from different backgrounds, different, parental structures and economic, all of that kind of stuff. And you put them in a class. And then you tell one teacher, now teach them all. What does that teacher got to deal with? Well, the 2-parent household might be, they might both be alcoholics and abusing each other and abusing the kids. You don't know. So then they come to school with all of that. Somebody ain't eat. No, but they get free lunch. But they know when they go home, they ain't gonna have no food. You know what I'm saying? They worried about stuff. It's so much. And with those 20 kids, how many of them actually need some type of counseling? How many of them need some extra help? How many of them need a social worker to come in and, really be able to devote time to their life so that they can focus on their education and not be worried about maybe their little brother, being able to protect their little brother or needing protection from their big brother or, once they go home. It's not necessarily as simple as come to class, I'm going to give you the lesson, you go home and do the homework, and you learn and you're a successful student. And I'm like, you got these people juggling all of this stuff, trying to figure out how to educate basically a population of students with all kind of issues. And I guarantee you that there are kids at Walnut Hills dealing with some of them same issues, no matter how special people think they are. Because there are some kids that do well on tests who they don't have a parent at home, who might be homeless, who might not eat every day, who might be abused physically, beat up, sexually assaulted at home, parents fighting all the time, no parents. There's all of those situations going on. And then, we look at it And I know they're talking about budgets and allocating resources and all of that kind of stuff. And it's just so much going on. That's why I'm impressed with Dr. Wright. I'm impressed with Dr. Wright. I like the idea that, and I don't know if this was done before. I like the idea that she said, you know what? We're going to bring in somebody to look at our transportation needs. And we gonna have somebody outside who deals with this stuff nationwide assess what we can do to help our situation be better. And he gave a very long, boring report on it. It might not have been boring if I was, like really like, oh, how do we solve this problem? I'm not like that. I'm like, get on the bus. Metro. I rode the Metro. You can ride the Metro. Shut up. That's kind of but for other people, I'm sure it was like, oh, that's an amazing report. And it was so detailed and filled with. But I'm impressed with her from the outside looking in. I don't know what she's doing. It does seem to me like some people don't like accountability. It seems to me that some people, they don't like accountability, and that maybe she's trying to hold some people accountable. But again, that's me from the outside looking in. I can't say with 100% certainty that that's what's happening. I just feel like that's what's happening. But I don't know. We'll see. I hope everything turns out well for her. Kind of changing subjects. Well, hold on. Let me stay at that meeting. And then the idea that there's a kid at Schroeder who gets beat up because he wouldn't share answers on a biology test. I can believe that. Y'all don't understand how many times I was approached in school, high school and college. Now in college, well, let me say, in college, some people actually did that and got paid for it, took other people's tests and took their own tests and made a little bit of change. That happened. But in high school, I worked out agreements with people at high school. Because y'all know I refused to do homework. I was not going to do homework. That was my time. But I worked out an agreement with a guy that if he did the homework and he would give it to me and then I would copy it and we would turn in the homework. This was a math thing. So 2 + 2 is 4. So I'm like, well, y'all cheated. Y'all got the same answer. Then maybe in English that would have been bad. Hold on, that's the exact same wording. These two papers are the exact same. Okay. But in math, 2 + 2 is 4. So if we both got 4, that's not like, oh my goodness, how did they both get the same answer? It's math. But we had an agreement. He would do the homework and I would take the tests. And we did the real simple. I would copy his homework. We both turn it in, and on test days, we get the paper. I'd take my test and I would write more legibly. And when I was finished with my test, I would pass it to him. He would pass me his. He would put his name on that one. And then I would do mine. And I would write a little less legibly. And we would both turn them in. It was the same answers. We would both get 100 on the test. Nothing fishy. Different handwriting, everything. But There were times when I said no. So I was, look, you want me to, easy, I'm taking his test, and you want my answers. What you got to offer? What you offering? I can't do nothing with I can't do nothing with that. He offered homework. I got what I need. You can't offer homework. I already got that. And then people would get mad. You lying. You ain't get no damn 100 on the test you didn't study for. Yes, I did. I didn't have to study. I was one of those people who, you just, in particular in math, give me the concept. Let me figure it out. Okay, that makes sense. I got it. I don't need to do no homework. I don't need to do no studying. I understand the concept. You can throw as many numbers in there as you want to. I get the concept. I can work the problem. So yeah, different people are different. Different people learn differently. It's more legibly. Oh. But yeah, the idea that, what I'm saying, you get beat up for not sharing that. I could see that happening because some of them dudes would get really mad. Especially some of the athletes. And they wasn't that smart anyway. And they would get mad when I wouldn't share, I wouldn't take their test or I wouldn't share answers with them. They would get really mad. And as happens a lot of times with people who aren't that smart, when they get mad, then they want to get physical. Richard says, what do you think Lincoln think about you cheating on your test? Did I technically cheat on my test? I cheated on somebody else's test. So I think technically they was the cheater. I just took a test twice and passed it both times. I didn't cheat. They cheated. Maybe I cheated for them. I didn't cheat on my test. I cheated on their test. And what do I think Lincoln would think about it? I don't care what Lincoln think about it. Attendance expert. Isn't that a truant officer? No. See, this, based on the way she was kind of discussing it, this wouldn't be a truant officer. This would be someone who works with the kid and their family to figure out what the problem is, help them maybe solve the problem or at least work around the problem to get the child to school. Truant officer is more, you're not in school, I'm taking your black ass to jail. This is more like, oh, you're not in school? How can we help you get to school? What do you need? How can we assist you in getting you to school on time more often? And there are apparently people who, that's what they do. That's what they do. Jenna said, you paid attention in class? Absolutely. I told y'all I had a deal. And I wish more of my teachers would have been willing to make this deal. I would have had a college scholarship. I'd have had a free ride. I had a deal. This was English. My 10th grade English teacher said, look, homework is 25% of the grade. And I remember when she said it, Miss Robinson was her name. I was like, oh. And she saw me and she called me out in class. She said, Jack, that's a whole other story. She said, Jack, why do you have a problem with, and I said, I don't believe in doing homework. I said, I understand stuff. I get stuff. Why do I have to do homework? What's the purpose of homework? And everybody in class was kind of laughing. And she said, I think she thought she was going to catch me or something. But she was like, well, you're not going to be able to pass the test if you don't do the homework. You're not going to be able to, and I was like, yes, I can. And we made a deal right then and there. I said, I don't remember who proposed it. Either I proposed it or she proposed it. Clearly, one of us did. But the deal was, if you get a 100 on your test, I give you credit for all of your homework throughout the week. And I was thinking, that's a winner. She had to propose it because I remember being shocked. Like, yes, I'll take that deal. Yes. And she was like, but if you don't get 100, I'm not talking about a 99. You have to get 100. If you don't get 100, then the deal goes away. And you have to start doing homework. And I was like, bet, I can live with that. I can live with that. And through the 10th grade, my English class, I never did any homework. I got 100 on every test. Yes, my OSHA, 100 on every test. And that is even with subjective grading. That's even with subjective grading. So she might have skewed a little bit more in my favor on some of them essays and all that stuff. But I got 100. The point was, he knows the material. He understands whatever the concept is that I'm trying to teach thoroughly. Why not give him the grade? And I would get credit for all my homework. That's one of the only classes in high school that I got an A in. I just get stuff. And he says, when I went to Walnut Hills High School, my fellow students were always asking to copy my homework. That couldn't be because they was in Walnut Hills. And Walnut Hills students are special. They're special. They're better than all the other students. Smarter, stronger, faster. Oh, here's some nonsense. Lincoln did beat you up because you fails the COVID test. Actually, no, that's not true. I never failed a COVID test. Whatever a failing test looks like. Not true. I got COVID before the vaccination. And other than that, I was getting tested sometimes 2 and 3 times a week. Towards the end, it was like 3 times a week I had to get tested, and I always tested negative. So I guess technically, would that be failing? I'm getting tested to see, do you have it? Like, no, negative, you don't have it, fail. Or is that a pass? Like, I passed it. I'm not sure which, depending on the outcome you're looking for. But yeah, apparently I could see a kid getting beat up for not sharing his answers on a test or anything. I could see that happening. Terrible. Nate said, I need one of those jobs. $75,000 for 25 kids. That's $3,000 per child. I guarantee results. My kids will have at least a 90% on-time ratio. I'm not sure. There's a side conversation going on. Someone says, I'm proud of all recovering addicts. Okay. Ben wants to know, so why didn't you address Lincoln beating you up? I don't even know what that means. I can't give any attention to nonsense like that. My grandsons attended a school in Nashville that ranks higher in the country than Walnut Hills. So they're even more special than the kids at Walnut Hills. Oh, don't tell those Walnut Hills parents that. Naisha wants to know, what are we talking about? We're talking about how special Walnut Hills students are. They are more special. Did you go to Walnut Hills, Naisha? If not, you're not special. Walnut Hills kids are special. And they deserve more resources. And we shouldn't lower the standard to get in Walnut Hills. Look, I don't have a problem with them lowering the standard to get more students of color in Walnut Hills. I don't have a problem with that. But again, that's because I don't like the whole concept of Walnut Hills. But you wouldn't have to worry about that if you would just do all of the schools like that. That wouldn't be an issue. Wouldn't be an issue at all. But yeah, no, I feel bad for the student and the parents who got the parents of the student. Well, the student too, who got assaulted. Naisha says, I have a couple of clients that attend. They are well-rounded kids. They are the only kids that bring books to their appointments. You buying into the hype. So no kids that go to, that if you don't go to Walnut Hills, you're not well-rounded. There are well-rounded kids that don't go to Walnut Hills. And maybe, like me, they don't need to bring books home. They paid attention in class. Sierra says it's concerning that the standard would need to be lowered to allow for more students of color. I understand it. I understand it. If you can afford it and you can get coaches and tutors and all of that kind of stuff to prepare you for the Iowa assessments, which is the tests that we refer to as the Walnut Hills test. Or at least that's what it said online. If you can get coaches and tutors and all of that stuff from K through 6th grade, I can't afford that. And there are a lot of lower income people who can't afford that. And I think even if I could afford it, I wouldn't do it. Even if they said to me, you know, hey, that little baby, get her some tutors, get her some coaches, and so she can pass that test, I would be like, no, I'm not doing that. Because I'm not singularly focused on her going to Walnut Hills. And again, I think it's quite possible that some people, as a matter of fact, I know it's possible, some people, like me, have the ability to go to Walnut Hills, but choose different. Because we don't like that whole Walnut Hills is better than everybody else. I just didn't like that. I genuinely just didn't like it. I didn't say there wasn't other well-rounded kids at other schools. You just suggested it. But honestly, I can tell the difference between the kids at Walnut Hills and the kids at other schools. How can you tell the difference? How can you tell the difference? If they're walking down the street, the Walnut Hills kids just walk different. If they riding in the car, the Walnut Hills kids just, there's a glow on them. There are a bunch of people who really do feel that way. Like there's a difference. They're just special. Like if you walk up to a kid from Walnut Hills and you say, good morning. When they say good morning, there's something different about the good morning that comes out of their mouth. Their breath smells like roses and pineapples. Jay says, I know a bunch of my friends' kids that went to Walnut Hills. They smoke weed, pop pills, and drink like any other kids. They might smoke weed, but they don't smoke weed like the other kids. The way they inhale is special. They might pop pills, but they don't pop pills like the other kids. They pop pills in a special way. They might drink alcohol, but when they drink alcohol, it's special. It's special. The problem with a lot of these standards is that they were put in place to separate black and white students. They are not a measure of true competency. It just shows that you can take a test. Exactly. But again, that's why I say if we're gonna put all this stock in a test, let's go all in on it. Let's go all in on it. Just separate it out. These are the special kids. These are the semi-special kids. These are the just a little less than those. These are the not so special kids. These are the, break it on down. Break it on down. So we know who to care about. Walnut Hills isn't all that. Your child can do great and turn out great at other public high schools. It's some Walnut Hills grads sitting in prison, and there are some Schroeder High School grads that are having a successful career. I don't know about Schroeder, but I get your point. Only in Cincinnati. Go to Walnut Hills, then work at Procter & Gamble, and you have arrived. And look, I'm not even I'm anti what Walnut Hills stands for. But I'm not anti-Walnut Hills. Like, I hope those kids are successful. I wish them all the luck and success and, well, they don't need luck because they want it. I wish them all the luck and all the success and happiness and everything that they can achieve in life. I really do. My issue is us and some of these parents who create this thing about this particular school and want them to have more resources than other schools and want them to have better this than other schools. And again, if they are as special as you say they are, they don't need the resources. Give them to the kids that actually need it. The parental involvement is such that, okay, good. Take the buses away from Walnut Hills and let all the parents take their kids to school since the parental involvement is such that they don't need. Use wrestling room mats used to get a workout. Never saw any wrestling. I'm not sure what that means. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Really just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm changing the subject just a little bit. No one has said anything with regard to except for Daryl, whether or not they like my idea. Only Daryl said he thinks it's a great idea, which means, at least to me, the rest of y'all are like, I don't think I like that idea. I don't think I like that idea. But I don't know. I think it's a good idea. Sound like you're talking about true equity, which some people would interpret that want to transfer their tax dollars to a different school than their child attends. Oh, that was the whole thing. Jay says, my daughter graduated from North College Hill, had a 5.7 GPA. Now she attends Ohio State University. Show you can do well without going to Walnut Hills. And of course, I think we all know that. Most of us know that. Most of us do. Sierra didn't like the idea. Why not, Sierra? What's wrong with that idea? Samuel says, I don't understand why all CPS can't have the same academic rigors. Somebody said it was Dwayne, not Daryl. Okay, my bad. Dwayne thought it was a great idea. Daryl says, what idea did I say was great? I was talking about a different Daryl, which apparently was Dwayne. But you're not the only damn Daryl. Daryl? Janice says, I was also kidding. I agree that all schools, treat all schools with the same importance as Walnut Hills. Naisha says, let's be honest, CPS is straight S. There are some decent doc schools. I don't know what doc schools mean. But right now, yeah, I'm cool on CPS. I don't think CPS is all that bad. I don't think CPS is all that bad. But I was going to switch subjects real quick, talk a little bit about Donald Trump, just a little bit. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think... I think the Manhattan DA, that's who it is, it's the Manhattan DA, should hold off on indicting Trump. Let the other people who are investigating Trump for, I'm going to say, more serious things, let the other people who, he's being investigated for obstruction. He's being investigated for having those documents. He's being investigated in Georgia for, I'm not exactly sure what what they're saying, what actual crime it would be, him calling and trying to get them to change the election. He's got a number of investigations going on. I think if you indict him on the Stormy Daniels payments, which, granted, he might have committed a crime. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on that crime, but I would say hold off on that one. You don't want, I don't like the idea of that one being the first one, because it's tied to Stormy Daniels, and then they could use it kind of the way that they're trying to use it now. And then once the other ones, if the other ones come in, it feels like it's like really this one. And we gonna spend all of this, I'm gonna say political capital, we gonna spend all of this time and all of these resources debating the Stormy Daniels, because y'all know it's gonna get all caught up in she's a porn star and he has sex, and so this is about who Donald Trump has sex with, and that's what they're indicting him on, is who he has sex with. This is the kind of trivial things that they're doing. They want to get him by any means necessary, and they got to go after his sex life with a porn star to get him. So then he goes in on that one. He gets indicted on that one. And then you get a quote unquote serious one. Well, he obstructed with those classified documents. Right. And he had sex with a porn star. Like y'all just throwing everything at him. I'm not Look, I'm not saying that what he did wasn't criminal. And I'm not saying that eventually he shouldn't be indicted for it. I just don't like that one being the first one. I know it sounds kind of wild, me saying that. But I don't make the first one something a little more, and I don't even want to say that, a little more serious or a little more. I don't even want to say that, because crime is crime, and if he did it, but all of the little salaciousness of this one, it don't feel right for that one to be the one to, quote, take him down. It don't feel right. Put that one in your back pocket. Hold on to that one. Let the other people make a decision about what they gonna do. Georgia, what y'all gonna do? Well, we gonna indict him. All right, yeah. Well, once y'all indict him, and then once all this other stuff go through, then we'll do it. Now they're gonna say, well, that's piling on. Okay, that's fine. But y'all got all of this other stuff to focus on. Black prosecutors should charge him with RICO, just like they do black rappers. All right. Boy, let me see. Mayocha says, I agree. New York Times did a deep dive into his finances, and he's alleged to have laundered like $500 million. That's what they should be looking into. Logic Slayer says, I don't think the DA should be focused on politics when deciding when to indict. Well, they always do that. They always focus on that stuff when deciding who and when to indict. That's even in terms of like a street level crime. If there's a lot of attention on a crime, they want to get something done right away. That's politics. That's politics. If nobody know about it, they'll let that thing roll until, whatever. But yeah, that's politics. That just happens. What was it when they had the mass shooting downtown? Oh man, they wanted to get that case done because that had a lot of attention. Get that done. Find the people who did it. Get them indicted. Get some charges. And get that out the way. That was political. Had we not seen video of that, and we just heard, it was a shooting downtown, they wouldn't have been like, hey, let's fast track that case. That's just the way it goes. I understand what you're saying, but that's just the way it goes. Ron D crying right now over his daddy. If it was up to me, I would have yanked Trump out of the White House when he agreed with Putin intel over his own on the national stage. Well, you can't do that. I understand, but you can't do that. Right. It give them an opportunity to say this is all petty because you started out with what on the surface seems like the pettiest of them all. And I don't like that. Hold off on that one. Hold off on that one. You still got it. You got up until the statute of limitations is over. Now, if you write up against the statute of limitations and you got proof, or you believe you can prove in court that he committed a crime, but you like, man, if we don't charge this in the next 6 months, the statute of limitations runs out on us, then go ahead and charge it. But if you got time to wait. When you use campaign finance money to pay her off, it is. I'm not sure what Ross Freeman said. I'm sorry. I still can't see his comments. Janice says, if you don't do anything illegal, it can't even be political. And I'll tell you what, the Janice, when you say that, here's what brings to mind. I was listening to Cunningham. And Cunningham, first of all, Trump he's always done it, but he plays the biggest victim than you could ever, like, in everything, he's the victim. He's the victim in everything. They after me. It's a witch hunt. They're trying to get me. It's a conspiracy. It's the deep state. It's the leftists. It's the rhinos. Everybody is out to get him. It's the Injustice Department. They've been weaponized. It's the court systems. They've been weaponized against me. It's the police. They've been weaponized against me. It's the FBI. They've been weaponized against me. Everybody in his world is against him. If anybody else played the victim that much, you think Cunningham and those guys, all these right-wing guys, would be like, stop whining. Stop crying. Everybody's not after you. And if you didn't commit a crime, like, they don't believe in the justice system now. How many times do we cry about the lack of justice in the justice system? How many times I'm speaking specifically about black people, we complain about inequities in the justice system and we're dismissed. You don't have to worry about it if you don't commit a crime. They're overcharging. You wouldn't have to worry about being overcharged if you didn't do something to be charged with. They're giving people, the amount of time that they give ain't the same for white people and black people who commit the same crime. You wouldn't have to worry about that if you didn't commit a crime. How many times do we hear that? How many times have we heard that? Oh, but Trump is about to potentially be indicted. Oh, the system is broke. The system is broke. Oh, when they going after yo boy, the system is broke. When they go after somebody else, you wouldn't have to worry about it if you didn't do nothing wrong. I listened to Cunningham whine for probably about 20 minutes today. I was driving somewhere. I listened to him whine for about 20 minutes about how they're just out to get him. They've been out to get him since 2016. They've been trying to get him. It's so horrible that they're just trying to get him. Like, these people are the victims now. The people have been telling us for years, trust the system. The system ain't broke. If you don't want to be convicted, don't do a crime. If you get convicted, it's because you did a crime, or, just it was comeuppance for something that you did that you got away with. I remember my mama used to say that. If I complained that I thought I was going to get a whooping for something that I didn't do, she said, well, you got away with something at some point. So that just for that one that you got away with. That's what they used to say to us. That's what they still say to us. How they can draw that line. How you can have Joe Dieters on, 2 months ago, talking about how amazing the justice system is, and basically the justice system don't get nothing wrong, and the justice system only go after people who commit crimes, and then turn right around and say, well, the justice system is corrupt. They're picking on our guy. But they're the victims now. That's so funny to me. The question becomes, all of this stuff that y'all saying that they picking on Trump about, did he do it? See, y'all don't even want to address, did he pay a porn star and hide those payments, which is in violation of, I believe, campaign finance laws? Did he do what he's accused of doing? Y'all don't want to discuss that. Y'all just want to discuss that the DA is black and is a Democrat, therefore it must be a left-wing attack. Hold on, did he do it? Is it against the law? Do they have the right to charge him? Then what are you talking about? Because the answer to all of those questions, more than likely, is yes. And they can probably prove that the answer to all of those questions, yes, he did it. Yes, it's against the law. And yes, we have a right to charge him with it. Then what are you complaining about? Oh, the classified document. Hold on. Did he have the classified documents? Was he supposed to have the classified documents? Did they ask for the classified documents back? Did he lie about giving back all the classified documents? Did his lawyers lie? Or did he lie to his lawyers and thus his lawyers lied about him giving back all the classified documents? Can we charge him with that? Then what are you complaining about? Oh, but they're weaponizing. I don't care what they weaponizing. If he didn't do it, he wouldn't have nothing to worry about. That was y'all tell us all the time. Did he call the man in Georgia? Did he break any laws when he called the man in Georgia? If the answer to any of that stuff is no, check it out. Ain't that what the system is for? Ain't that what the system is for? When the police pull me over and the police say I was speeding and I know I wasn't speeding, what do y'all tell me to do? Take the ticket and go fight it in court. Don't try to solve that right there on the side of the road. Take the ticket, sign it, because if you don't sign it, we're going to take your black ass to jail. So take the ticket, sign it, and then go fight it in court. So what are y'all complaining about? Take the indictment, turn yourself in, and then fight it in court. How are you the victim now? We can't be the victim. We can't be the victim when it happened to us. But he the victim? The same people who tout how much the justice system is fair, true, and right when black people are getting prosecuted. Now y'all boy being prosecuted and he's a victim. They're weaponizing how long has the system been weaponized against black people? Now y'all worried about it being weaponized? How long has the police been weaponized against black people? Now how long has the FBI been weaponized? COINTELPRO. Been weaponized against black people. Oh, now y'all worried about it being weaponized. When it was weaponized in y'all favor, weaponizing it was a good thing. When y'all was spying on people, killing people who was trying to fight for justice and equality, weaponizing the FBI was a good thing. Now that the FBI is looking at one of y'all boys, oh my God, they're weaponizing the FBI. We can't have this. This is unfair. Come on, y'all. And they complaining in the mud. They complaining like you wouldn't believe. Wait a minute. It's all lies, man. Like they lying on Joe Biden and Hunter. It's all lies. Then go fight it in court. Ben, I'm asking you, if the police pull me over and I am driving 55 miles an hour and the police say I was driving 75 miles an hour and he give me that ticket and I know that police officer was lying, what would you tell me to do? What would you tell me to do? What should I do? Come on, say it. What should I do? Don't fight about it. Don't complain about it. Don't whine about it. Do what? Go ahead, say it. What should I do, Ben? Fight it in court. Fight it in court. So stop whining. What about Joe and Shiesty Biden? What's he been charged with? I don't even entertain this conversation. I'm cool with entertaining this conversation. What has he been charged with? You tell me what criminal charges have been brought against Joe So Shiesty Biden? Where was he indicted and on what charge? Tell me. I'm listening. What was he charged with? Where's the indictment? I want to read it. So what about Joe Biden? What about him? Look, I'm going to tell you what I would say. Let's say they indict Joe Biden for Hunter Biden having a laptop, which I didn't know was a crime. But let's just say they do. Joe Biden is indicted because Hunter Biden has a laptop. You know what I would say to Joe Biden? Go fight it in court. Ben says, charges coming. Well, when the charges come, holla at your boy. But until then, we talking about your boy who might be charged any day now. Daryl says, why even entertain an idiot when they ask dumbass questions, E-Man? Because it's funny. Because that's all he got. That's all he got. Like, look, Trump did all of this stuff and might be about to be called on the carpet for some of it. And the only response you got is, well, what about Joe Biden? I think it's entertaining to just ask the simple question, what is he being charged with? I think it's funny because I know there's no answer. There is none. And look, I don't know, they might have the votes to actually indict, which means impeach Joe Biden. They have that razor thin majority in the House. And I don't know, an indictment, does it have to be like, you could indict, I think, by just one vote, a majority. So if they thought they had something, and I'm saying I think, I could be wrong about that. I haven't looked into that in a while. But if they have anything, they don't even have to go through a legal process. They could just impeach the man. But they know they got nothing. Like, they got nothing. And trust me, they want to impeach him as bad as as quickly as they can. They want to impeach. But they know they got nothing. So if it's entertaining to me when we're talking about Trump, who is now the biggest victim in America. The biggest victim in America. They're coming after me. They're picking on me. They don't like me. The system is rigged. The election is rigged. The Justice Department is rigged. The FBI is rigged. Everything is rigged. Woe is me. No, I agree he's not a victim. He's portraying himself as a victim. And I remember listening to WLW, and I remember listening to Cunningham bash victim mentality. All of these people everybody's not a victim. Everybody's not a victim. But everybody's a victim now. If you're black and you get pulled over for speeding, you're a victim. If you're black and you shoot people and you get convicted of shooting people, you're a victim. Everybody's a victim. He want everybody to stop claiming victim until it's his boy. And now he right there with him, like, oh, he's a victim. He spent all those years taunting Hillary with lock her up. Now it's his turn. Exactly. And Ben, you're not fooling nobody. Nobody's falling for your trick. It's a shame how y'all defend Joe Biden, the man who showered with his daughter. That's a crime in itself. Nobody's falling for your trick here, sir. Nobody's here defending Joe Biden. You're trying to change the subject from Trump because he might be about to be in trouble. So you don't want us to focus on Trump about to be in trouble. Why don't you talk about Trump? Because that's who we talking about. We'll talk about Joe Biden tomorrow. Call me tomorrow and we'll talk about Joe Biden. Right now we're talking about Trump. What about Trump? What do you think about Trump potentially being indicted for crimes that he committed? What do you think about that? Trying to get somebody off to talk about Joe Biden. What do you think about Trump? Should Trump be indicted? Should Trump be indicted? Lady K, don't fall for the trick. He's trying to get you to focus on something that's not there. Oh, we talking about Donald Trump. Well, what about Joe Biden did this? We not falling for that, bro. We not falling for that. Look at it. He keep talking about, oh, Joe Biden. Y'all don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. What about Ben? What about Trump? What about the fact that he allegedly cheated on his wife while she was pregnant with a porn star and then paid her to be quiet about it? What about that? What about that, Ben? Is that okay? Is that honorable? Is that honorable? Ben? Honorable? Oh, he don't want to talk about that. Now he want to attack somebody. What about the fact that the man took documents that he had no business having? We don't know what he did with the documents. They asked for the documents. He gave some back and lied and said he gave them all back. He lied to his attorneys and told his attorneys that he gave them all back. They negotiated with him to get them back because they knew he didn't give them back. And then they had to raid his house to get them. What about that? Was that honorable? It's all wrong. Are you happy? Hold on. It's wrong. Should he be indicted for it? And should he be convicted? And if he's convicted, should he go to jail, Ben? What about that? Answer that. I'll be happy once you answer that. Well, I'm happy anyway. But once you answer that, then cool. What about him admitting to grabbing women by the vagina? Yeah, and now that same attorney has to get an attorney. Yeah. Remember he said that the only people who plead the fifth was, well, I don't remember the exact terminology, was criminals. He pled the fifth. Would that be an admission? Ben says, I said it's all wrong, so what the hell do you want me to say? No, I didn't ask you, is it wrong? I asked you, should he be indicted? And if convicted, should he go to jail? A whole lot of stuff can be wrong. That don't necessarily mean you believe this person should be indicted and if convicted, go to jail for it. I'm asking you a specific question. You believe it's all wrong. Should he be indicted for it? And if convicted, should he go to jail? Should he be indicted? And if he's convicted, do you believe he should go to jail? That's the question. That's what I want you to say. I want you to answer the damn question. That's what I want you to say. Not just say it's wrong. I think it's wrong that it wasn't 70 degrees today. Do I think anybody should be indicted for that shit? No. So I'm asking you a specific question about Trump. The whole document thing is so crazy. Can you imagine the FBI asking our black asses for anything? Being all polite. Hell no. They raid our cribs in a heartbeat, yeah. She said, oh, S, you're cussing. I don't cuss. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm no legal expert. I just know they all crooks. Hold on, but you said Joe Biden should go to jail. You said Joe Biden should go to jail, but you can't say Trump should go to jail? We talking about Trump. Should he be indicted? Because you know legal expert, but you can tell us what's in a laptop that you've never seen, what laws were broken that you don't know to have been broken, but you know legal expert when it comes to Trump. You said it's wrong. Should he be indicted? And if convicted, should he go to jail? Simple question. Simple question. Now you ain't no legal expert. You was a legal expert 5 minutes ago when you was talking about, oh, Joe Biden did this, and that is a crime. You was a legal expert then. But now you ain't no legal expert. We not talking about him. We talking about Donald Trump. Should he be indicted? And if convicted, should he go to jail? Mister, I'm not no legal expert, but I can tell you what a crime is. Don't let him rattle your chain. No, I just think it's hilarious that these people have these double standards. They want you to have one standard for everybody, but they got these double standards. It's a simple question. Like, if we were talking about Joe Biden and you said to me, Joe Biden did this, and I agreed, like, yeah, I think Joe Biden did that. And I think it was wrong. And then you say, well, Emanuel, if you believe he did it and you believe it's wrong, should he be indicted for it? And if he's indicted for it, should he go to jail? You know what my answer would be? Well, yeah, if he did it, then he should be indicted. And if he's convicted, then yeah, he should go to jail. It's a jailable offense. Simple thing to answer. Well, they're all crooks. Then should the crooks be indicted and should they go to jail? Be consistent. Livingston is simple. If he put the ramen noodle seasoning in first, he deserves to go to jail. Common sense. I'm not 100% sure what that means. If he did what they said he did and it's proven, yes. All right. So now we don't need to hear nothing else from you. Thank you. Unless you got something else to add about what we talking about. I believe Trump still owes Putin something. And he has to keep going until he fulfills that deal. Or, as his nieces said, he is just an evil narcissist and will burn this country down trying to get his way. I believe both of those things can be true. I believe both of those things can be true. Pamela said, how you know about a darn shower? Did he cut the faucet on? Just making stuff up. It was proven. Yeah, it was definitely proven. They went into his crib and got the documents that he wasn't supposed to have. They have proof of everything. Before Trump was POTUS, the whole GOP was trashing him. And now they can't quit his ass. Oh, the hypocrisy. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't understand the allure. Like, look, putting everything else aside, it's clear when you listen to that man. Number one, he ain't that bright. Number two, he's a liar. And then number three, he's spinning y'all. Like, those three things are like super clear. You can't listen to a Trump speech and not, if you're in any way, shape, or form reasonable, you can't listen to a Trump speech and not come away with at least two of those three conclusions. You can't do it. And I'm like, what are they seeing? Like, what is the draw? What is the draw? For the life of me, I don't understand. I don't understand what the draw is. Trump has done a number of these people so bad, he could admit to everything and they still swear the Democrats made it up. Right. Livingston, do you think Donald Trump is a homosexual? I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't follow him around. I don't know who he has sexual relations with. I don't know who he's sexually attracted to. And why does that matter? I don't know. Hadn't even thought about it. But if he came out and said he was homosexual, the people who back him would then immediately somehow make an exception, like they're anti-homosexual, but they would make an exception for him. The Democrats' fault. They turned him homosexual. He doesn't want to be homosexual, but they're making him be homosexual. They would still support him. They would still support him. But I don't know what that got to do with anything. Hold on a minute. The draw is his base, racist base. They're scared to lose his people's votes. I'm not talking about the politicians. I know what their draw. I'm talking about the base. What is their draw? Okay, some of the racists. Okay, that I can see. Like, okay, he ain't that smart, and he's a liar, and he's spinning us. But we believe he hate black people and, other minorities as much as we hate them, so we gonna support him anyway. Those I kind of get. I understand that. But some of them are not like diehard racists. Some people, or maybe they are. But I don't think that's the full thing. I could be wrong. I think that's the appeal. He's rich, white, and speaks their language and gives the allure. He's tough and no nonsense. But if you listen to him, you clearly can tell that all he's saying is nonsense. He's the opposite of no nonsense. He's full of nonsense. Trump told the world that he could shoot somebody and they'd still support him. He did. And when he said it, I kind of knew it was true, but I still didn't understand why. I mean, and I get he rich, supposedly. I get that. But like, is it still that dream that someday I'll be rich too? Like, you 78 years old living in a trailer park that they about to repossess your trailer and kick you out, and you still think you about to be rich because you support Trump? You about to kick the bucket, homeless. Your trailer about to be repoed. You ain't gonna be able to smoke no more meth. You ain't gonna be able to afford it. And you too old to be out there tricking. But you still think you about to be rich. So you gotta support Trump because they coming after him. They coming after me. Because when I get rich, I don't want them to come after me the way they coming after Trump. That mentality, I don't understand. I really don't. And I do think that that's some of it. Like those evangelicals that support him, even though he has 5 kids by 3 different women, 2 divorces, and who know how many abortions he's paid for. And they don't care. They don't care. And I know some of it is they believe he gonna push their agenda. They believe he gonna push their agenda. And so some of them get something out of it. Roe v. Wade was overturned. And that was a big deal to them. And so for them, they're like, hey, he might be a liar. He might not be that bright. He might spin the F out of us. He might be, you know what I'm saying? He might grab women by the vagina. He don't really believe in God. He all of that bad stuff. You know, he's a criminal. He's all of that. Morally bankrupt. But we got Roe v. Wade overturned. And for them, maybe that was enough. Let me look. Yep, they 100% believe that they will be rich once we get small government and ban all the gays. They really do. I went to Fairfield Township yesterday, the Walden Pond subdivision. On the way, the Trump flags, F. Biden flags were flying. The house I visited had the Blue Lives Matter flag on full display. Those homes are on a golf course. I was really saddened. I don't know what 45 has done to these people. Christians making a pact with the devil as long as they get something. Mahogany's. Hey, Liz. I was out there at Wing Champs the other day. I'll be looking for you when I be out there. I don't never see you out there. You might be in the kitchen. I don't know. I don't never see you out there. But, hey, I'm still supporting you 100%. Liz, like, ain't nobody trying to be seeing you, Emanuel. I still support you. I do. I wish you all the success in the world. I hate the way they played you. Trump living rent-free in a mansion in y'all heads. Bro, it's the news. If anything, Mr. Biden is living rent-free in your head. That would be like, how you gonna pay attention to the presidential candidates? Bro, it's the news. But no matter how poor they are, they still be white and perceived as superior. That is the bottom line. I believe in their minds that is, yeah. That is. Liz making boss moves. She ain't got time for you. I believe that. And I don't really be wanting nothing. If I saw Liz, all I would do is be like, hey, that's it. That's it. That's all I would do. Hey. There's Liz over there. Where? Hey. That's it. So it ain't like she missing out on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not seeing me. She ain't missing out on nothing. I'm just saying. Really, that's about it. That's all I would do. Hey, get my little food and leave. That's it. Let me see. Oh, my time is up, y'all. My time is up. Would you ask her for a hug if you seen her in person? No, I don't be asking people for hugs. Who just walk around asking people for hugs? I'm up there, sitting at the bar waiting for my to-go order. I don't really eat in anywhere. I definitely prefer to eat out. But I'm sitting at the bar waiting for my order. And I see Liz, maybe back in the kitchen or something like that. What I look like, hey, Liz, come and give me a hug. That sounds creepy to me. Can I have a hug? No. I'm cool. Hey, that's about it. Livingston, I guarantee if I got the chance to meet Lizzo, I would ask her for a hug and a picture. Cause you're, a little bit of a creep. you might be you got a little creep in you. You got a little creep in you. That is sound right. Oh. I saw some cat at Red Lobster asking random women for hugs. Lewis say that hurt. Don't be hurt. Just change. You know what I'm saying? Just change. You can change. You can change it. Don't be running around asking women that you don't know for hugs. Because that's creepy. It is. It's creepy. So don't do it. So you can change all of that. All of this stuff is, you know what I'm saying, like right now stuff. It's right now stuff that you can change 1 second later. If I saw so-and-so, I would ask her for a hug. Don't do that. Well, if I saw so-and-so, I would wave at her. Not creepy. See the change. See how the difference there. I would ask her, it's because you said Lizzo the last time. I would ask her maybe for an autograph. Not creepy. I would ask her for a hug and a picture. Creepy. So you never met a woman that you didn't know ask for a hug? No, never. And this gonna sound weird, and I do have to go. This is gonna sound weird. I believe it's okay for women to ask for hugs, not necessarily men. I know that sounds weird. It's not creepy when a woman sees somebody and be like, can I have a hug? And you be like, sure, come here, girl. And you give her a little hug. That's not creepy. A man see a woman, can I get a hug? That's creepy. When I met Sheila E., I was talking all that stuff, and Sheila E. came in the studio and she saw me and she gave me a hug and a kiss. It was like a real kiss, not on the lips, but I think she kissed me on the cheek. It was like, not just a quick. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like a real kiss. That was okay. If the roles were reversed and I'm, the big star, and there's some woman sitting there and she's talking about me like, oh, and I really love him and blah, blah, blah. And I just walk in the studio and kiss her. They'd be like, that's creepy. You can't do that. There's a difference. There is a difference. So women can ask for hugs. Men, you can't be running around asking people for hugs. It is creepy. Lewis asked her for the lingerie she wore at the basketball game. Y'all trying to turn him into a straight creep. Lewis says, I get it. Good. Let me see. Scroll. It looks like I'm about caught up on comments. I got to get out of here. I don't know if Wyatt is coming on today, but I believe he is. And if he is, he's probably on. Check out Wyatt Live, Randall Wyatt. Go check him out. I'm sure he got something good. He be coming up with like good topics. But he be coming up with good topics and he have takes on them. Sometimes they be good. I be like, yeah, Wyatt, tell him. Sometimes I be like, Wyatt, what the F you talking about? But you definitely want to check him out because, you know what I'm saying? He put it out there the way he put it out there. And I think he does a great job. So check out Wyatt. Emanuel, you let the bullies run free in your chat. Hey, for the most part in my chat, that's y'all. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I don't really see people going too wild in there. If any more people go harder against me than anybody else in the chat. So, I don't know what to say. But all right, y'all, I got to get ready to get out of here. Oh, my day begins again. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Oh, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be out of town. In like a seminar. Buying a timeshare. No, I'm just playing. I'm not buying a timeshare. But I will be out of town tomorrow, so I won't be here tomorrow. So we'll play gospel music tomorrow. No, I'm just playing. We won't be playing nothing. You can just go on about your day and enjoy yourself. All right. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and tomorrow. I hope something amazing happens to you, something life-changing, okay? Until next time, it's been the Afternoon Experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.